Hey, what's going on, guys? In this video, I am going to work on my Deathstroke weapon. Yes, I'm going to turn this yardstick or 36-inch long stick, whatever you want to call it, I don't care. But I'm going to turn this into a sword or a knife or a really long knife that looks like a sword. I want to turn it into one of these guys. Yeah, I even made this guy. I don't know. I'm going to start off by taking this yardstick, and I'm not going to mention where I got it from, just because. Then I'm going to take it to my chop saw, and I'm going to cut a 35-degree angle. Ironically, I cut it at the 35 mark. I'm going to save this piece for later, but first I'm going to cut a rough cut of what the shape of the sword is going to look like. Then I'm going to take the piece that I cut off, and then I'm going to glue it onto this piece right here, and it's going to make the blade just a little bit wider towards the tip. Then I'm going to clamp it down and let it sit overnight, and that little 35-degree angle cut, I glued that on too. Now that the glue is set, it's time to trim out the rest of this blade looking thingy. With my nifty scroll saw, I was able to make it look like this. Now it's time to remove some of this marking. I'm gonna use my belt sander and carefully sand all that off. Now that it's looking less like a ruler, let's make it look more like a knife. I'm gonna take some scrap wood and make a jig so I can use my router. Now I need to determine where my routing is going to be, lay down my marking, and then clamp down the wooden sword. Then I place some markings there so I know where to start and end my cuts. And then now it's time to do the routing. I used a 1/4 inch routing bit so that way I can get this nifty looking detail in here. And once it's done, I went and took it to my smaller belt sander and smoothed out some of the edges. So far, so groovy, and I'm starting to dig what I'm cooking. I even went in and finished off the rest of the edges because why not? I got all the dirty, messy, dusty stuff out of the way. It should look something like this, and I moved it into my studio so I can do the final wrapping. I'm gonna use this aluminum metal tape thingy that I got from the hardware store, and I use this very often for my weapons build, so yeah. I carefully applied it to one side of the sword. I'm going to use a rag to flatten it all down. You want to make sure you're very careful with this stuff because it can cut you because it's actually metal. I take a razor blade and I cut out the edges just enough to where it will wrap around the sides just a little bit. Now it's time to repeat that process on the other side. Now the trick is when you're peeling the backing off of this metal tape, you want to do it flat on the table and then peel the backing off of it. That way it comes out nice and smooth, not springy. Now as I was smoothing the metal tape down with the rag, I decided to use my fingernail and cut through the metal tape, which kind of left everything a little jaggedy, which I'm not going to do again. Now as for the routed details, I decided not to go all the way through. I just left it like that. It looked kind of cool, so why not? I'm going to take a can of flat black paint. I'm going to spray it on there kind of roughly, and once it's all dried, I'm going to take some Brillo pad or Scotch pad. I guess take some of that painting off of it. This will give it some of that weathered look. I think it looks really cool. Now that the blade is pretty much done, it's time to focus on the handle. I got some paracord. I sealed off the tip of it with a lighter, and I'm doing this number, which really hard to explain, so I'm not really going to try to explain because it was a bit confusing. Now I messed with it a little bit and I finally came up with something that looked like this. Now I'm going to leave some links to some YouTube videos that can help you come up with some really cool paracord tricks, because I can't explain it. It confused me. And this is the end result. I think it came out looking really cool. I even made one with a tongue depressor instead of cutting the details with a router. But you tell me, which one do you like better? Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope y'all learned something. Let me know which one you like better. I personally like this one. Let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video and you found it to be helpful, please hit that like button because that helps me out a lot. Follow me on my Instagram, my Facebook, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already subscribed, because I try to come up with cool stuff all the time. So yeah, I guess that's it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one.